I walk the path where wild hearts roam, and every root feels like my home. The forest whisper its ancient claim, for the whispering pines know my name. They call in voices low and deep, where moss-bound memories lie asleep. No throne I seek, no mortal fame, for the whispering pines know my name. Beside the trail sings tales of rangers old and frail. Its waters brush against my hand, as if to welcome me to land where no map marks, no kings proclaim, yet the whispering pines know my name. They call in voices low and deep, through shadowed boughs where secrets keep. No crown I wear, no banner claim, still the whispering pines know my name. Storms roll in with thunder's roar, and shadows dance across the floor. The forest shields me from the night, its branches bending toward the light. For I am part of its wild frame, and the whispering pines know my name. They call in voices soft and true, in dust pale gold and morning's blue. Though kingdoms rise and fall the same, the whispering pines will speak my name. At break of day the forest stirred, as though it knew what all had heard. The prince would claim his ancient throne, where roots and starlight twine as one. The dawn spilled gold through silver leaves, a hush fell soft on wind-worn eaves, and every creature great and small gathered to witness nature's call. Let branches bow and rivers sing, for dawn has crowned our elven king. The woodland's heart beats bright within, the dance that marks his reigns begin. Raised a circlet fair, wrought from moonbloom sun-kissed stare. The stag stepped forth in solemn grace, the owls kept watch from every place. He walked the path of ancient stone, where forest spirits made their home, and with each step the earth replied, a living oath, a kingdom's pride. Let branches bow and rivers sing, for dawn has crowned our elven king. The woodland's heart beats bright within, the dance that marks his reigns begin. Swayed low in reverence, the sky poured light in his defense, for nature chose him leaf and flame, and whispered softly his true name. Then rose the dance of coronation, a rite of joy, of celebration. The prince moved like the morning breeze, a promise carried through the trees. The flowers bloomed beneath his feet, the streams kept time with rhythm sweet, and all the realm in song immense proclaimed their dawn, crowned sovereign prince. Let branches bow and rivers sing, for dawn has crowned our elven king. In every leaf his light begins. Long reign the prince of elven kin. Now scar the land, and kings carve borders in the sand. One grove remains where old songs sleep, and I alone its vigil keep. The oaks remember gentler days, before the world had lost its ways. Their whispers cling like morning dew, and bind my heart to what is true. I stand where the green still grows, keeper of the last of the groves. Though empires rise and empires fall, the forest breath outlives them all. Hunters come with torch and blade to claim what ancient hands have made. But roots run deep beneath my feet, and through my veins the wild beats. The spirits stir in bark and stone, their voices twine around my own. With wind and leaf I make my stand, the final ward of nature's land. I stand where the green still grows, keeper of the last of the groves. Though empires rise and empires fall, the forest breath outlives them all. day. I stand where the green still grows, keeper of the last of the groves. When all the world forgets its song, the forest heart will carry on. In the gloomwood vale where the moonlight pales runs a centaur swift and strong. While his kin keep clear of the human sphere, Theros walks where both belong. With a steady bow and a gentle soul, he greets wanderers on the trail. Share your fire's glow, tell me tales you know, and I'll trade you mine without fail. Oh, Theros, hooves of thunder, heart as open as the sky. Friend to those who guard the forest, enemy to those who let it die. Raise your voice, O wandering centaur, let your ancient wisdom sail through the pines and through the ages, Theros of the Gloomwood Vale. He speaks of stars in the old centaur wars, of the rivers that remember names, of the oath once sworn when the world was born, and the forest's unbroken flames. Yet he laughs with ease at the human pleas, curious of their fleeting years. Your lives burn fast, but your hearts hold vast streams that echo through the spheres. O Theros, hooves of thunder, heart as open as the sky. Friend to those who guard the forest, enemy to those who let it die. Raise your voice, O wandering centaur, let your ancient wisdom sail through the pines and through the ages, Theros of the Gloomwood Vale. His bite and the torches alight, he stands tall where shadows creep. For the friends he's made, he will not let fade what the forest swore to keep. And the humans know when the north winds blow, they may find him on the hill, with his bow in hand, guarding leaf and land, yet with kindness stronger still. O Theros, hooves of thunder, guardian of glade and glen, may your tales be sung by the fires of young and remembered by all good men. Raise your cups to the wandering centaur, let your voices never fail, for the bond he forged shall forever endure. Theros of the Gloomwood Vale. a monk who carries fate in text. Within his satchel bound in twine lie scrolls that shift the world's design. He fears the power sealed inside, for every word can bend the dawn. Unroll the scroll, the world will sway, the stars will blink and lose their way. A single line can break or mend, can birth a storm or calm its end. The unseen path begins again, whenever parchment meets the air. He opened one at River's Bend to save a child from bitter end. The waters froze, the sky turned red, the dying breathed, the living fled. He closed it fast, his hands in dread. Mercy paid with twisted fate. Unroll the scroll, the world will sway, the stars will blink and lose their way. A single line can break or mend, can birth a storm or calm its end. The unseen path begins again, whenever parchment meets the air. Begins to shift at night, as if the words themselves take flight. They whisper truths no monk should hear, of futures carved in trembling fear. He knows the cost grows ever near. Power never walks for free. He stands before a kingdom's fall, a scroll that could rewrite it all. But should he change what time decrees, or let the world break on its knees? He breathes the silence of the trees and chooses what no one will know. Unroll the scroll, the world will sway, the stars will blink and lose their way. A single line can break or mend, can birth a storm or calm its end. The unseen path begins again, whenever parchment meets the air. And still he walks with quiet care, a monk who guards the shifting dawn. The gallop of the dawn bearers reign. The night still clings to field and fen, the stars begin to pale. A lone rider breaks the sleeping land, a whisper on the trail. His steed breathes fire in the chill, its mane a streaming flame. For fate rides fast upon their backs, and all shall know his name. Ride, dawn bearer, ride again before the sun ascends. Your message holds the fragile thread on which the kingdom bends. Through shadowed vale and mountain pass, through fear and mortal strain, let no man outrun destiny. destiny, nor the gallop of the dawn-bearer's reign. Behind him stirs the rising storm, ahead the distant keep. The world still dreams of peace and warmth while he dares not to sleep. For armies march on broken oaths and traitors stake their claim, but hope still thunders down the road in one swift burning flame. The wolves give chase, the winds conspire, the dark would see him fall, yet still he leans into the night. He answers duty's call, and when the first light crowns the hills, he sees the gates again. A final surge, a final cry, a triumph born of pain. At last is done, the gates swing wide, the guards stand still, they greet the rising sun. And though the world may never know the cost of your campaign, the dawn was saved because you dared to gallop through the night again. Where the cold winds bite, a lone man keeps the height. His crossbow rests, his eyes stay sharp through every creeping night. Below the kingdom dreams in peace, unknowing of his strain. For danger turns on silent steps that only he can tame. He stands where no one sees, he guards what no one knows. A humble oath, a soldier's truth, in every bolt he loses. Though thanks may never rise, nor praise be ever shown, he keeps the watch for those who sleep and bear the night alone. The night alone. The tower tests his weary soul, the hours stretch like years. The quiet hum of distant fields outweighs his hidden fears. Yet still he waits through frost and fate, a sentinel of stone. For peace is built on unseen hands that labor on their own. He stands where no one sees, he guards what no one knows. A humble oath, a soldier's truth, in every bolt he loses. Though thanks may never rise, nor praise be ever shown, he keeps the watch for those who sleep and bears the night alone. Sings his name aloud, no banners bear his crest, but honor lives in quiet hearts that give the realm their best. And should the darkness ever strike, he'll meet it without fear, for duty is the flame he holds, a light that won't disappear. He stands where no one sees, he guards what no one knows, a humble oath, a soldier's truth, in every bolt he loses. Though none may speak his worth, his vigil still remains, a silent guard for all the land till dawn returns again. Swords to kings and crooks, fought in valleys no map ever books, seen comrades buried under foreign skies, but we toast them still with bloodshot eyes. Hail for the fallen, may their names never fade, still for the living by our own hands made. We fight for the coin, but we drink for the dead, and the ghost march beside us wherever we tread. We've slept in ruins in snow and sand, carved our legends with a calloused hand, but every victory tastes bittersweet for the empty chairs where our brothers should meet. We've watched proud banners rot to rags, carry dying friends from the smoke and the flags, and though fate deals death with a gambler's grin, we'll raise one more cup for the ones not walking in. Hail for the fallen, let the tankards ring, steel for the living by the strength we bring, for the ones who are gone, for the ones who remain. We drink through the sorrow, the blood and the pain. Hail for the fallen, may their story stay strong, steel for the living, marching ever on. The storm-crowned battlements where lesser hearts would flee, the knight stepped forth with naked steel to face what none could see. No herald sang, no torchlight shone, yet still he held his ground, for courage blooms in shadowed halls where fear would have him drown. He found a foe with shattered spear, begging in the dust. The coat said strike, the heart said stay, and mercy won his trust. A single spared, and trembling life became a lantern's glow. For mercy is the gentlest blade a righteous hand may know. Of silver crowns he spoke the bitter truth, though lies would shield his tarnished name and gild his fading youth. He bowed his head to judgment's weight, accepting rightful blame. For honor stands when all else falls, a torch against the shame. Carved in ancient stone, a path that split in three. One led to glory, one to gold, one into mystery. He chose the road where none had walked, where quiet voices guide. For wisdom walks the winding trail where certainty has died. A distant horn, a friend in need, a kingdom's call to war. He turned from crowns and promised wealth to guard the one he swore. Through frost and fire he held the line, though none would sing his name. For loyalty is steadfast flame, no tempest yet could tame. 9 nights he waited by the gate, while others pressed ahead. The winds grew cold, the moon grew thin, the doubts within him spread. Yet still he kept his vigil there, unmoved by passing time. For patience is the quiet art that shapes the grand design. He faced a lord of cruel decree, who ruled with iron hand. The knight refused the gilded bribe, the oath to serve his land. He raised his voice for common folk, though danger marked his stand. For justice is the shield of those with neither sword nor band. A peasant's hut, a broken roof, a hearth without a flame. He laid aside his shining helm and worked without a claim. No banner flew, no praises rose, yet still he toiled with grace. For humility is strength concealed in every quiet place. At last he reached the final gate, where all his paths aligned. A leap of trust into the dark, no promise yet defined. He stepped beyond the mortal world, his heart the guiding star. For faith is walking forward still, when sight can reach no far. O knight who walks the ninefold path through shadow, flame and sky, your virtues carve the road ahead, your spirit cannot die. For every trial shapes the soul, and every step is true. The ninefold path is walked by one, yet lights the way for two. Strode from the frost-bitten vale, steel singing low at his side like a tale. His helm bore the scars of a dozen fierce wars, his cloak carried ashes from dragon-lit shores. A rune blade he wielded, still warm from its past, forged deep in the mountains where shadows are cast. With shield etched in silver and boots charred by flame, he wandered the kingdoms, all knowing his name. Raise your cups high for the slayer so bold, whose stories are carved into legends of old, where dragon fire rages and heroes hold fast, their triumphs ring out through the ages long past. One night in a tavern of timber and whisper of terror from trembling lips broke. A dragon in the highlands with scales black as night had raised down 3 hamlets and hungered for fight. The slayer leaned forward, his eyes cold as stone, for dragons meant glory, and glory he owned. He rose with a nod as the hearth's embers glowed, and set off at dawn on the mountain-bound road. Raise your cups high for the slayer so bold, whose stories are carved into legends of old, where dragon fire rages and heroes hold fast. Their triumphs ring out through the ages long past. On a cliff crowned in fire, its roar shook the heavens, its wrath climbing higher. The clash split the sky with a thunderous cry. Steel met with flame as the hours crawled by. At last came the moment, the dragon's fury fell, its heart pierced by rune blade in one final yell. The slayer took scales for his trophy that day, and bards gained a new song to echo his way. Raise up your voices, let all kingdoms hear the tale of the slayer no shadow can sear. His trophies shine bright as the stars overhead, and bards weave his triumphs wherever they tread. The plains where cold winds bite, a lone man walks by moonlit light. His furs are torn, his blade is scarred, his heart a field forever charred. For once he stood with kin and kin, now silence answers where they've been. Oh, wandering son of a broken land, last hearth keeper of the Red Hand clan, you roam the world with no fire of your own, seeking a place you may finally call home. The war drums thundered, the sky turned red. The steel storm fell, his clan lay dead. He buried them beneath the stone and rose a king with no throne. The gods he cursed, the earth he swore, to wander lost forevermore. Oh, wandering son of a broken land, last hearth keeper of the Red Hand clan, you roam the world with no fire of your own, seeking a place you may finally call home. Oh. Some say they've seen him by the sea, staring long at what cannot be. Others swear he guards the weak, a silent vow he'll never speak. But when the tavern candles dim, A lonely song escapes from him. He dreams of halls where laughter rings, of winter feasts and summer springs. But dawn returns, the dream is gone, and still his heavy boots march on. Yet in his chest a spark remains, a stubborn ember through the pains. Oh, wandering son of a broken land, last hearth keeper of the Red Hand clan, may roads be kind and the wild winds guide, till you find a fire where your heart may abide. In taverns where the lanterns glow and shadows twist and sway, a halfling walks with nimble steps along the cobbled way. No sword nor shield adorns his frame, no crest upon his back, just quiet boots and clever eyes that follow every track. He carries not a warrior's pride nor mage's ancient trick, for all he needs is hanging there, his slender faithful pick. Through alleys dark and rooftops high he wanders without fear, a whisper in the midnight wind that only thieves can hear. Lift your mugs for the halfling bold, with a pick worth more than minted gold. He cracks a door, he cracks a grin, and every night he sneaks a win. He's danced atop the merchant roofs beneath the silver moon, and slipped through castle corridors to a silent jaunty tune. He's lifted rings from sleeping lords and coins from dungeon stone, yet never once did greed take root within his heart of Rome. He steals for thrill and story's sake, for laughter's merry spark, not riches hoarded deep within the noble's iron ark. A wanderer with wandering aims, a rogue without a vice, except the joy of cracking locks like breaking winter ice. Lift your mugs for the halfling bold, with a pick worth more than minted gold. He cracks a door, he cracks a grin, and every night he sneaks a win. Some heroes wield enchanted blades or chant their runes of flame, but he and his pick are legends too, though few recall his name. For every vault he's ever breached and treasure he set free, he leaves behind a calling card, a crumb of pipe leaf tea. The gods all curse his clever hands, the nobles curse his grin, yet deep inside they marvel still at how he slipped within. A myth in boots of quiet tread, a shadow quick and thin, whose laughter drifts through moonlit streets like distant violin. Lift your mugs for the halfling bold, with a pick worth more than minted gold. He cracks a door, he cracks a grin, and every night he sneaks a win. the slow, where sun and silence reign. My sandals worn, my water low, my shadow stretched in pain. The wind begins its whispered lies, a shimmer in the glare, and from the heat 1,000 eyes awaken in the air. O spirits of the sand, why do you follow me? Your shapes like broken memories across the scorching sea. I walk the burning road alone, through visions wild and grim, until the blessed oasis calls from past the desert's rim. A serpent made of molten gold coils through the drifting haze, its fangs like crescent moons of old, its tongue a funeral blaze. Then rises up a haunted beast, crowned in a veil of dust, its roar a storm of ancient grief, its breath a scent of rust. O spirits of the sand, why do you follow me? Your shapes like broken memories across the scorching sea. I walk the burning road alone, through visions wild and grim, until the blessed oasis calls from past the desert's rim. Begin to tremble, the sky begins to bend. A caravan of phantom kings marches without end, their banners made of dying light, their faces carved in stone. They beckon me to join their march and never walk alone. Glare, a distant green appears, a glimmer soft, a breath of air that cools my burning fears. The mirages fade like dying stars, the visions lose their hold, and there before my weary feet the oasis shines like gold. O spirits of the sand, you cannot follow me. Your realm is heat and emptiness, not shade beneath the tree. I leave the burning road behind, its nightmares fierce and dim. For now the gentle waters sing, where desert meets its rim. Of the workshop, beneath the lantern's dim sway, the mage carved a heartbeat in runes of red clay, with a whisper of power, with a trembling hand, he breathed me to life, though I scarce understand. I rose from the dust at the sound of his voice. No will of my own, no semblance of choice. My heart is clay, yet still it aches for chains unseen that never break. I walk the path he's carved in sand, a soul unmade, bound by command. Bound by command. Through battles unending, through centuries worn, I guarded his bloodline from dusk until morn. But the faces kept changing, the orders the same, while I bore the weight of an unchosen name. The runes on my skin glow with sorrowful light, a script of obedience etched far too tight. My heart is clay, yet still it aches for chains unseen that never break. I walk the path he's carved in sand, a soul unmade, bound by command. When it's never your own? What is a voice? When it's shaped out of stone, if ever the runes fade and silence remains, will I crumble to dust or be free of these chains? My heart is clay, yet still it aches, but now I feel the binding shake. If fate allows, I'll take my stand, a golem freed from all command. In the dungeon's cold and hollow, where no sunlight dares to roam, lived a man the bards forgot, far from hearth and far from home. For a deed he never carried, for a crime he never knew, he was bound in iron sorrow as the seasons rose and flew. Yet the stones would whisper softly, truth survives though kingdoms fall, and he carved his name in silence on the darkness of the wall. Raise your cups, you wandering souls, for the prisoner who broke free. After decades lost to shadows, he reclaimed his dignity. Let the tyrants quake in terror, let the bells of justice ring, for the chains that never bound him could not stop a soul from spring. Through the years the guards grew careless, thinking hope had long since died. But a spark within his spirit burned too fiercely to be tied. With a lockpick made of memory and a map of whispered lore, he escaped the deepest darkness none had ever fled before. Hear the wind that sings his story, hear the mountains call his name. For a man unjustly broken still can rise from ash and fray. Raise your cups, ye wandering souls, for the prisoner who broke free. After decades lost to shadows, he reclaimed his dignity. Let the tyrants quake in terror, let the bells of justice ring. For the chains that never bound him could not stop a soul from spring. Now he walks the world a legend, cloaked in scars and silver hair. Every tavern tells his tale now, every minstrel breathes his prayer. For the truth is forged in fire and the innocent endure. He is proof that fate may falter, but the righteous heart is pure. Raise your cups, you wandering souls, for the prisoner who broke free. Let his triumph light the darkness for all those who bend the knee. May the wicked learn their folly, may the free forever sing, that the chains that never bound him could not stop a wandering soul's wing.